Welcome to the Clashing of Steel. And for once I am playing Germanicus and actually not totally hating it. I mean, Germanicus is still a good commander. I just understand how easy it can be to beat him because he used to be one of my most played commanders. And eventually you realize that actually most things can beat you, especially with Armored Legionnaires. Okay, there are many exceptions and many tactical plays how it can be countered or you can be valuable. Or there are many ways where it can be useful and where it can be horrible. But today I am just trying to make the best of it with what I got. So my key focus, as it is usually, is to defend the archers. With Germanicus, defending has never been actually easier. You can block out missiles and you can just seal off bottlenecks. There are pikemen and perhaps even certain spearmen who can counter you, or even elephants, but then again most of everything else does not want to deal with you. Armored Legionnaires can be incredible if they are allowed to engage and if they are in a right engagement or situation. But as usual, my focus is teamwork and to fight for the victory. And so I am defending these archers, or at least trying to. At the same time, I don't want to go too aggressive. But then again, I'm hoping to be a bit more aggressive, to take attention of elephants onto me in hopes of cavalry going after the ranged units. Because if there is any possible way to ruin it for enemies' missile units, I will be happy to sacrifice my troops. But sadly, I can't run after them myself, and these horsemen kinda don't like to do it that way. Although sadly I'm going to have to sacrifice them for nothing, because I did not see the swordsman. And it is a bit too late, or actually it is not too late, but it is a horrible option to pull back, because I'll get shot right in the back, so I might as well waste them here. If I would have regular legionnaires or some light units, I would definitely try it. I would definitely try to disengage. But with these units, you often need to realize that turning around might not be an option. You have a ton of defense and you can back a rather huge punch. But then again, the moment you turn your back or you are exposed in some way, you are suffering probably in more ways than many other units. It's not that the armor doesn't block the missiles or any form of attack. It's just that you will have hard time dodging those missiles or just disengaging. Although you can try and double down with your team member support, but in this match I saw most of our units going from the outer areas of the city, or perhaps even near the forest areas. So, since most of our troops were going on the northern side or northwestern side of the map, and there was a lot less of us in the southern or southern eastern side of the map, I made a simple decision to defend till we captured the opposing base. This is one of these horrible matches where one side pushes with extreme force. But the problem here was that we were both pushing, both of our teams. We were mostly pushing, or our teams were mostly pushing from the north, while they were pushing mostly from the south. And basically, this is where it comes down to who captures faster, who can force themselves onto this area. My simple focus was to seal off the entrances. I also wanted to create a possible area to defend the ranged units. And because the capture is going rather fast on our side, or by our soldiers, we are going to have to deal with most of the opponents. Fortunately, they have chosen a single direction to force themselves from, and I can perhaps even easily defend this area. Although sadly I have to deal with the elephants, I will still be able to seal off some areas in this bottleneck. And as long as everything is working out fine for me and I can decapture them, or perhaps even slightly damage them in their score, I might be able to at least do something. I also want to be very careful here. I want to decap the ranged units, because if the ranged units get away and they are allowed to, well, just capture in peace, it will be horrible for my team. Because our capture is interrupted rather heavily, and so I must do the same with my opponents. As it may be a bit harder for me, I still try to decapture them as much as I can. I'm not trying to show or say that Germanicus is a excellent defending unit, but well, he can be. He might not work like the spearman, but the armor and damage alone makes him rather formidable. As I said, Germanicus is still a good commander and even easy to play, especially if he's allowed to engage. So I still would suggest this commander to new players. But okay, let's head over to the scoreboard. I managed to be good with Germanicus at defending. I did some decapture, I did some defense, mostly from the missiles, and I did slight offense as well. My team's Alexander was the best. He did the most capture and also the elephants. So a lot of players in the opposing team tried to go very offensive and take over my base. Basically, their top player was there, who earned most of his score from missile block. There was of course the opposing team's Germanicus, and well, he didn't do that much. So Germanicus is not a bad commander. I just dislike him myself. He can be excellent, he can work in many ways, especially with teamwork. But I just see simple ways how good players can counter them and how I have countered them myself. So this was pretty much it. Germanicus is still a good commander. He can make a lot of difference. He can be brutal, or he can be defensive like here as I played him. This is probably one of the best commanders for the new players, and well, easy to learn, easy to manage, hard to master. Simple as that. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.